Having been in Bitcoin from the early days, every day I look at what's happening with Bittensor and I draw all these parallels to the things I was seeing with Bitcoin. It's like being able to have invested in Amazon when the website went live. We will soon be launching a way for institutional investors to invest in the subnet tokens. We will, I think, start to see some subnets kind of break out.
On this channel, our mission is to make life-changing returns financially. It sounds super difficult, but if people like Barry Silbert can do it, you can too. It's not rocket science when you break it down. What Barry Silbert did was in 2012, buy up hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Bitcoin at around $7 or $8. That trade became worth billions and billions of dollars because Bitcoin is now worth $100,000 per coin. So all he did was buy up something revolutionary, look into the future, say, will this asset appreciate in value? Will it attract capital? And he went big into it. He was also an early stage investor in a bunch of super successful companies like Coinbase, Ripple, Circle, and Ledger, right? So he saw how big crypto would be, and he just went massive. Now his net worth is over $3 billion. So Barry Silbert knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to being an early stage investor and making life-changing returns. Now this is where it gets insanely exciting for you and for people like us, because we get to look at exactly what Barry Silbert is buying today, exactly what he's bullish on today. And these assets are super, super undiscovered and super inexpensive. We're not talking about massive assets like Bitcoin or huge companies like Coinbase. We're talking about very early stage assets. So Barry is the founder of Digital Currency Group, or DCG. DCG launches Yuma, a new subsidiary focused on accelerating decentralized intelligence. Yuma invests in, builds, and incubates computational infrastructure on Bittensor, a leading decentralized network. With DCG founder and CEO Barry Silbert serving as CEO, he is the full-time CEO of Yuma. Right? He's very good at predicting the future. He's spending a lot of time as the CEO of Yuma, which is building out infrastructure on Bittensor, TAO, another crypto project. So now we know exactly what he's bullish on, and we know these assets are on deep discount. And so that's potentially life-changing right there.
We just started a company called Yuma, which I'm also now the CEO of, which is focused exclusively on doing for Bittensor what DCG did for Bitcoin.
So he's not just sitting back and passively investing in the Bittensor ecosystem. He's actively attracting a massive amount of capital into the Bittensor ecosystem. He's super influential in crypto, and so he's doing these interviews all over the place and selling the Bittensor ecosystem to massive organizations, including Wall Street. That's what he did with Bitcoin. He had the biggest Bitcoin fund on the planet before the Bitcoin ETF launched. He attracted billions of dollars into Bitcoin. Now he's trying to do the exact same thing. He has more credibility now, and he's trying to do the exact same thing with these Bittensor subnets.
Having been in Bitcoin from the early days, every day I look at what's happening with Bittensor and I draw all these parallels to the things I was seeing with Bitcoin back in 2012, I'm now seeing with Bittensor today.
So again, the guy who made billions of dollars betting on Bitcoin sees the exact same thing with the subnets we're about to get into.
So you mentioned a halving. What is the next halving?
The timing, I believe it's maybe January of 26. It'll be the first halving actually in 26. Like we're kind of circa, if you kind of think about, kind of overlaying this on Bitcoin, the first halving would have been around for Bitcoin, maybe it was at 2012, 2013. So, we're kind of similar to that time frame. And interesting, I mean, the price of TAO, I think is around, $350. It's actually somewhat similar to kind of where Bitcoin was at the same time.
He's saying it's where Bitcoin was in its very early days, like 2012 or 2013 in terms of price, in terms of adoption. And that's how early we are with the TAO token. Obviously, Bitcoin skyrocketed after that. Bitcoin had exponential adoption. TAO has exponential adoption. So that's the TAO token, rock solid. If you want to learn how to make passive income with your TAO token by just staking it securely, reach out to me on Patreon. I'll answer all your questions. Now let's talk about the subnets and which ones he's bullish on. This is where the potential upside gets enormous.
We're building, for lack of a better description, kind of the Y Combinator for subnets. And so we have, I think, 13 of the 128 have kind of gone through our accelerator. If you look at the internet and the way the internet came about, in the mid-90s, Mosaic launched the first browser, and all of a sudden people realize, oh wow, okay, like anybody can kind of build an access point to this thing called the World Wide Web. And then you saw this explosion of websites. You saw the Amazons and the eBays kind of get launched. And so we're kind of where we are right now with AI is you have the OpenAIs and you have the Claudes and you have the kind of the large companies that are kind of delivering these kind of access points to AI. And I think that Bittensor is kind of the equivalent of kind of that Netscape moment, that Mosaic moment, where all of a sudden anybody can launch one of these subnets. One is essentially kind of like a website. And what also makes it even more interesting is because each of these subnets have a token, it also enables investors in the market to participate in the potential growth of these applications, of these websites. It's like being able to have invested in Amazon when the website went live.
So he's saying these tiny market cap subnet assets are as early stage as internet companies in the early days of the internet, like Amazon. And he's saying there's going to be hundreds of thousands of these applications, similar to how there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of apps on the iPhone App Store or the Chrome App Store. That's what each of these subnets is.
We will soon be launching a way for institutional investors to invest in the subnet tokens. So we're going to kind of make it easier for access. We will, I think, start to see some subnets kind of break out.
And he's also saying that he's going to open up the ability for institutions to invest directly into these subnets, just like he did with Bitcoin and the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So Grayscale, again, a multi-billion-dollar company deeply connected with other institutions, funneling billions and billions of dollars into these tiny cap subnets. That is where the life-changing upside comes in, right? Revolutionary technology. We talk about the revolutionary technology of these subnets all the time, but now we have a company literally talking about unleashing a wall of capital into these subnets. So what are Barry Silbert's favorite subnets? Again, he's the CEO of Yuma Group, which incubates, helps develop these subnets. These are the subnets powered by Barry Silbert's company. Precog, subnet 55, Infinity Games, subnet 6, Sturdy Finance, subnet 10, Real-Time Data by Masa, subnet 42, Score, subnet 44, Dippy Speech, subnet 58, Agent Arena by Masa, subnet 59, BitSec, subnet 60, Redteam, that's cybersecurity, subnet 61, Vericore, subnet 70, Flock Off, subnet 96, Street Vision by Natix, that's a decentralized physical infrastructure asset, over 250,000 drivers, big network, subnet 72, and then Yanez MIID, subnet 54. So if you want to know what Barry Silbert's favorite subnets are, it's those. Those are the ones they're putting money behind. Again, he's about to unleash billions of dollars into these subnets. These subnets should get a piece of the wall of capital that's about to flood into these subnets, which are in the very early stages. Thank you for watching. The whole mission is to make life-changing returns on this channel. That's what we're all about. If you want to know how to invest in these subnets, again, Patreon is where you can reach me and direct message me with any questions you have. I am making unbelievable passive income personally by investing in these subnets. It could not be better. We're talking 200% plus APY a year just for holding crypto assets. Of course, they're volatile, but unlike meme coins or other small cap crypto assets, these pay 200% plus per year in APY. Some pay less, some pay more. If you want to learn more about what Yuma Group is doing, you can visit the link in the description to their website, which is rebrand.ly/Yuma_Bittensor. Thank you for watching.